wait. I mean, I had a bookmark where, because I normally put a post-it note to the page we stopped, and I have a bookmark as well. So I've got two, and I also write where we're supposed to start.
So where did we stop? Do you know? I know you weren't here last week. I can figure it out from.
With the
Chapter
week
14.
before, we stopped at page 346.
Oh no! Don't tell me the page.
Prayers by Akura.
Oh,
Yeah,
prayers by Akrura.
Yep. And
That's
then we
right.
talked,
I remember.
yeah, so we talked about,
I know exactly where we are, and I know exactly where the recordings are, and I can answer all the questions.
Prabhuji, we don't. Prabhuji,
Hare
I want
Krishna.
to ask you about the recordings. Where are they? Because normally we used to get them in the group to say, here are the recordings.
Aha! Aha! Recordings, the last few recordings, I've just posted it on the Facebook page.
I'm not on the Facebook page.
Oh.
We've got the WhatsApp group, so if
All
it
right,
comes
so-
on there.
So I can take it, I can try to post it on the WhatsApp, a link. I'm not so sure how to do that, so I'll give it a try. Post it on the WhatsApp group.
Prabhuji, are you on our WhatsApp group?
I'm on the WhatsApp group, yeah, I receive, but I can't post anything.
You need to get. I can make you an admin.
See, Smita Mata's got the power.
I wish. I think I can make you an admin, or is it Sachinanda Karuna Das can make you an admin?
If you're an admin, yeah, you can make.
Yeah,
him
so
an-
I'm an admin, so I can make you an admin then, Prabhuji.
Yeah, go ahead, and I'll put a link there for the thing is, I'll give it a try, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we're on chapter Krishna enters Mathura.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just having a listen to you guys having a chat there, and I thought, wow. And of course, my picture hasn't come up, or something's missing. So
Yeah.
on hearing this, so it's the third paragraph, and we went through the initial part.
Yeah.
Because Akrura has got back on the chariot.
Okay.
And
I found where we
they've
stopped.
reached Mathura now. He's had a mystical experience on the way there. He went to chant the Gayatri mantra, and when he chanted the Gayatri mantra, he saw Krishna and Balaram in the water, and he's thinking, well, how did they get there? I just walked all the way down here. I didn't see them walking here. There they are in the water. So he walked back to see if they're on the chariot, and they were on the chariot. So he thought, well, what was that then in the water? So he walked back to the water, and there was the Mahavishnu and all the Charanas and Vidyadharas and all the Magadas and Siddhas and demigods praying to Mahavishnu in the water. So he had this special darshan, a mystical experience. And then he got back on the chariot there. We're at the part where it says, on hearing this. So who would like to start? After we've said the little prayer, I'll start the prayer, and we'll go around to Smita, and then we'll go around to Shashi. Shashi, I'm sorry you're still recovering from this winter cold. We all get them. We all get the winter snivel. I'm just speaking with someone in Faridabad, and Vandana's got a cold there as well. So I had a dreadful cold once in Mumbai. I traveled from Kolkata to Mumbai on a flight. I caught a cold on the flight. Don't know how, but it was a really nasty cold for 3 or 4 days in Mumbai. So I'm sorry you're sick. Shall we all do a big sneeze for Shashi? 1, 2, 3. Oh, Yuta!
Thank you, everyone.
Let's give
I'm
a-
sorry, I'm still not knowing where we are. Are we on the chapter Akura Returns Journey?
Yeah.
No,
Krishna enters
Mathura.
Mathura,
All right. Okay, so
and
it's the
we
next
are
one.
on
chapter 41.
yeah,
Third
chapter
paragraph
41,
down.
page
down.
355.
Okay, so
Krishna enters Mathura.
in a
Okay.
circle, but we'll miss Sashi out. We'll miss Sashi out because she's not feeling too great. But we'll go in a circle and everyone can sing part of this Krishna Krishna Dune. Krishna 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 Hey Smita.
Krishna, 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 Rakshama.
Oh dear, you don't know it.
I
Oh,
do,
right.
but I have to have a different tune.
Oh
Krishna
no.
Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahimam.
Okay, you've done the whole thing. Okay,
I'm sorry.
let's go through it. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Repeat. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hey, now. Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava.
Rakshama.
Shama.
Then, Smita.
Krishna Keshava,
Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava Pahimam.
Very nice. Okay. So let's start with this. On hearing this, let's ask Jai Prakash to start off with that paragraph.
Okay. On hearing this, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, became very angry at the washerman, and striking him with the upper portion of his hand, he separated the man's head from his body. The washerman fell down dead on the ground. This way, Lord Krishna confirmed the statement of the Brahma Samhita that every limb of his body is capable of doing everything he likes, without a sword, but simply with his hand. He cut off the head of the washerman. This is proof that the Supreme Lord is omnipotent. If he wants to do something, he can do it without extraneous help. Shall I continue?
On hearing this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna replied, Akrura, that's the one that we're starting on.
Oh, hold on.
You're way ahead of the game there.
Oh, because okay. Hold on. Okay. On hearing this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna replied, Akrura, I shall surely come to your home. Is that where you're starting?
Yeah.
Okay. Because there's another passage, it's got the same thing on hearing this. Okay.
Ah.
Okay, right. Let's start again. On hearing this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, replied, Akrura, I shall surely come to your home with my elder brother Balram, but only after killing all the demons who are envious of the Yadu dynasty. In this way, I shall please all my relatives. Akrura became a little disappointed by these words of Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he should not disregard the order. He therefore entered Mathura and informed Kamsa about the arrival of Krishna. Then he entered his own home. After Akrura's departure, Lord Krishna, Balram, and the cowherd boys entered Mathura to see the city. They observed that the gate of Mathura was made of first-class marble, very well constructed. The doors were made of pure gold. There were gorgeous orchards and gardens all around, and the whole city was encircled by canals, so that no enemy could enter very easily. They saw that all the crossroads were decorated with gold, and that there were copper and brass storehouses storing grain. There were many rich men's houses, all appearing symmetrical, as if constructed by one engineer. The houses were decorated with costly jewels, and each and every house had nice compounds of trees bearing fruits and flowers. The corridors and verandas of the houses were decorated with silk cloth and embroidery work in jewels and pearls. In front of the balcony windows were pigeons and peacocks walking and cooing. All the grain dealers within the city were decorated with different kinds of flowers and garlands, newly grown grass, pleasing flowers like narcissus and roses. The entrance doors of the houses were decorated with water pots filled with water. A mix of water, yogurt, sandalwood pulp, and flowers were sprinkled all around the doors, which were also decorated with burning lamps of different sizes. Or all the doors were decorations of fresh mango leaves and silk festoons.
That's a beautiful description there. Well, you know, I've gone into many homes with nice mango leaves or leaves over the door. This is a great tradition. And of course, you know, spreading water mixed with yogurt here and there. This is definitely a sign of opulence. And you can imagine the fragrance everywhere. I mean, we are left with just either water, dirty water, or mixed clean and dirty water on the road. We don't see water mixed with yogurt and auspicious signs like this. And what a beautiful marble gate. What kind of a gate do you have? Anyone have a gate to their home? To their garden? A lot of houses now don't have gates. You just walk from the road into the garden. It's very easy for the burglars to enter people's properties these days. A lot of properties don't even have a gate or hedges. Nobody? John, none of it?
I have one, but it's a small one.
Small gate?
Yeah.
Rita? You have no gate there? We don't have a gate here. We have a hedge, but there's no gate, just a driveway. In the old days, everyone had a gate. If you had a garden, you'd have a gate to your garden surrounded by a fence or a hedge. So that's also very auspicious. And we're coming to the point where Krishna meets the Dobiwala, Kamsa's Dobiwala, and Krishna dispatches him. I think that's pretty much just like a description there of the entrance. Okay, Charna Ravinda, do you have anything there, Prabhu, or shall we ask Smita? You have a book, yeah? Okay, so when the news spread.
When the news spread that Krishna, Balaram, and the cowherd boys were within Mathura city, all the inhabitants gathered, and the ladies and girls immediately went up to the roofs of the houses to see them. They had been awaiting the arrival of Krishna and Balaram with great anxiety, and in their extreme eagerness to see Krishna and Balaram, the ladies did not dress themselves very properly. Some of them placed their clothes in the wrong place. Some anointed their eyes on one side only, and some wore ankle bells only on one leg, or wore only one earring. Thus in great haste, not even decorated properly, they went to see Krishna from the roofs. Some of them had been taking their lunch, but as soon as they heard that Krishna and Balaram were in the city, they left their eating and ran to the roofs. Some of them were in the bathroom taking their baths, but without properly finishing their baths. They went to see Krishna and Balaram. Some were engaged in feeding their children breast milk, but they put their babies aside and went to see Krishna and Balaram. Passing by slowly and smiling, Lord Krishna immediately stole their hearts. He who is the husband of the goddess of fortune passed through the streets like an elephant. For a very long time, the women of Mathura had heard about Krishna and Balaram and their uncommon characteristics, and they were very much attracted and eager to see them. Now they actually saw Krishna and Balaram passing on the street and saw them smiling, sweetly smiling. The ladies' joy reached the point of ecstasy. When they actually saw them with their eyes, they took Krishna and Balaram within their hearts and began to embrace them to their fullest desire. Their body hairs stood up in ecstasy. I just had a glitch.
Okay, ecstasy. Smita?
They had heard of Krishna, but they had never seen him, and now their longing was relieved. After going up on the roofs of the palaces of Mathura, the ladies, their faces joyful, began to shower flowers upon Krishna and Balaram. When the brothers were passing through the streets, all the Brahmins in the neighborhood went out with sandal water and flowers and respectfully welcomed them to the city. All the residents of Mathura began to talk among themselves about the elevated and pious activities of the people of Vrindavan. The residents of Mathura were surprised at the pious activities the cowherd men in Vrindavan must have performed in their previous lives to be able to see Krishna and Balaram daily as cowherd boys.
Okay, so it's a great festival happening. Put yourself in the position of these ladies and these grown-up ladies and the young girls there, all excited. You know, the great movie star has come to your town. You know, your movie or your music or singer or famous person, I don't know. If they come to your local town, people will go out, they'll go out of their way to see. I remember once I was in Baroda and we was at the temple, and I used to have a habit of going across the road, and there was a very nice, they were selling sugarcane juice across the road from the temple. So I went across one day and I was staying there with as a guest of Vasugosh Prabhu and his family. And as I came back, I saw a big crowd just at the side of the temple entrance, just at the side there. So I said, "What's this big crowd? What's going on?" And I saw there was some cameras. So I went over there, and then up on a stage was a film actor from a Bollywood film actor, Salman Khan, the film actor, and he was doing something for some politics, some political, I don't know if he's involved in politics but he was doing some speech there about some political thing. And thousands of people had gathered there to see this film actor. I think he was quite famous in the 1990s. I don't know when, but around the 1990s or early 2000s. And there he was on a little stage there, and he was talking, and I'm just thinking how people are attracted to people like that. What to speak of if Krishna and Balaram came into downtown Amersham or downtown Crawley. Or just imagine downtown Crawley, you hear, "Hey, Krishna and Balaram are outside Marks and Spencer's." No, yes, they're outside Marks and Spencer's. We're all running like mad to go and see Krishna. So the girls, you know, it is hilarious that they forget to put on their clothes the clothes are not properly put on, and the one earring, and you got one eye is done, you know, one eye is all decorated nicely, and the other one is like, you know, and they're up there, and they're obviously calling out, you know, it doesn't say here, but I'm sure they're calling out to Krishna as well. And what will they be saying? Krishna, 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 Krishna. Hey,
Hey.
just like we're singing here. So it's a very, very nice, auspicious part of the beautiful vision there of these young ladies coming to see their heroes. You know, they've heard about these boys, and you know, remember Krishna and Balaram. How old were they when they entered Mathura?
10.
Around 10 or 11. They weren't very old, but they had such a reputation, and they were so beautiful. They were so beautifully dressed and immaculate. So they attracted everyone.
They were bigger than a human 10-year-old of today. They were of a different age. They weren't like a little 10-year-old of today on this planet.
Well, you know, I don't think Krishna would, you know, there wouldn't be a match for any 10-year-old to Krishna's 10-year-old. You know, Krishna as a 10-year-old kid can just give you a slap and knock your head off. And he doesn't even put a punch into it. He'll just go, oh, go on. And your head's gone. It's very nice. Anyway, let's ask Jigna now. Jigna, if you can read from While Krishna. Are you okay, Jigna, to read?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
I
Jigna.
was just going to say, I just got a message. Someone is trying to join the Zoom room. I think they just need to be admitted, maybe.
No, there's no admittance to this.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what link they've got, but they've probably got the wrong link.
Okay, maybe I'll just send them the new one.
Send them this link, because the other Zoom room requires a waiting room. This one doesn't.
Okay, I'll send that now.
Sashi, while she's doing that, would you like? Oh, Sashi, no, you're resting. Alex, go ahead, Prabhu, for a minute then. While Krishna and Balaram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare-
While Krishna and Balaram were passing in this way, they saw a washerman and a dyer of clothing. Krishna was pleased to ask him for some nice clothing. He also promised that if the washerman would deliver the nicest dyed cloth to him, the washerman would become very happy, and all good fortune would be his. Krishna was not a beggar, nor was he indeed in need of clothing. But by this request, he indicated that everyone should be ready to offer Krishna whatever he wants. That is the meaning of Krishna consciousness. Do you want me to carry on, Prabhu?
Yeah, carry on.
Unfortunately, this washerman was a servant of Kamsa and therefore could not appreciate the demand of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the effect of bad association. He could have immediately delivered the clothing to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who promised him all good fortune. But being a servant to Kamsa, the sinful demon could not accept the offer. Instead of being pleased, he was very angry and refused the Lord's request, saying that, how is it that you are asking for clothing which is meant for the king? The washerman then began to instruct Krishna and Balaram, my dear boys, in the future, don't be so impudent as to ask for things which belong to the king. Otherwise, you will be punished by the government men. They will arrest you and punish you, and you will be in difficulty. I have practical experience of this fact. Anyone who unlawfully wants to use the king's property is very severely punished.
There you go. This is technically this is called the mode of ignorance.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he was a Dobby Waller, a very proud man, obviously,
Yeah.
and he had no idea who this person was. This is ignorance.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't know who God is, this is a little reminder for us that one of the symptoms of the mode of ignorance is that you may talk about God, people may talk about God, but when it comes to God himself, they ain't got a clue who he is.
Yeah.
They claim to know. Some people claim to know God. In fact, in medieval days, the Christians, they would shout, it is God's will. It is God's will that we kill all these people. It is God's will. Because the Pope in the 12th century, he proclaimed that anyone who goes and fights to reclaim the Holy Land of Jerusalem for Christendom, anyone who fights in that holy war will go to heaven. So people can imagine what kind of people are going out there now to get to heaven: murderers, thieves, rapists, debauched people, wicked people, evil people, all kinds of nasty guys, women as well. Some of them were going out on the crusades and having a ball, killing people and saying this is God's will. So people are very expert at talking about God, but when it comes to knowing God, that's not many people know God. So this is a mode of ignorance, to not know who God is. Even if you talk about God, it's God in ignorance. You're not really understanding God at all. So that is his position. Let's ask Jigna now to he's having a nice share. Vimal's finishing his dal bat there. I'll put you off there, Prabhu, for a minute. You can enjoy your dinner there, and then we'll come back to you, Vimal. Jigna?
Yep, Hare Krishna, I can read.
On hearing this.
On hearing this, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, became very angry at the washerman, and striking him with the upper portion of his hand, he separated the man's head from his body. The washerman fell down dead on the ground. In this way, Lord Krishna confirmed the statement of the Brahma Samhita that every limb of his body is capable of doing everything he likes. Without a sword, but simply with his hand, he cut off the head of the washerman. This is proof that the Supreme Lord is omnipotent. If he wants to do something, he can do it without extraneous help.
And carry on. After the ghastly incident.
After this ghastly incident, the employees of the washerman immediately dispersed, leaving the clothing. Krishna and Balaram took possession of it and dressed according to their choice. The rest of the clothes were offered to the coward boys, who also used them as they desired. What they did not use remained there. Krishna, Balaram, and the boys then proceeded along the main road. In the meantime, a devotee tailor took the opportunity of service and prepared some nice clothes from the cloth for Krishna and Balaram. Thus, being very nicely attired, Krishna and Balaram looked like elephants dressed with coloured clothing on the full moon day or the dark moon day. Krishna was very much pleased with the tailor and gave him the benediction of Sarupya Mukti, which means that after leaving his body, he would be liberated and would attain a four-handed body exactly like that of Narayana in the Vaikuntha planets. Krishna also granted him that as long as he would live, he would earn sufficient opulence to be able to enjoy sense gratification. By this incident, Krishna proved that those who are Krishna-conscious devotees will not be lacking material enjoyment of sense gratification. They will have sufficient opportunity for such things, but after leaving this body, they will be allowed to enter the spiritual planets of Vaikuntha Lok or Krishna Lok, Golaka Vrindavan.
Oh, what a lovely benediction. Oh, gosh. I hope Krishna will bless me to have lots of sense gratification as well. Haribol. Because, you know, what the point is here is that senses must be gratified. You see, the senses have to be gratified, but the point is, are they gratified in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, or in the mode of ignorance? Now, Vimal is enjoying his nice. Are you still eating there, Vimal?
No, I finished. You can make my video
okay.
live.
Okay, Vimal. Okay, so Vimal now has just enjoyed. What was you having there? What was your? Was it prasadam or was it unoffered food?
Unoffered.
Unoffered. How was your bojan?
Boja was it was good. It met the requirements of filling a gap in my stomach.
You look well for it as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. The thing is that you know, we have senses, and Krishna consciousness is all about how to not only gratify the senses properly, but how to purify the senses. While we gratify the senses, that how to purify them so that those senses become like iron in the fire. So when we put the iron in the fire, gradually the iron becomes fire. We say takes on the quality of the fire, but I've worked in a steelworks for a short time, and I've seen how iron actually becomes fire by incredibly high heat, and it becomes liquidated metal, or whatever they call it, steel. And it flows like water. You know, it's so hot that it's hotter than fire. Hotter than fire. The heat is so tremendous. So the Krishna conscious process is to make these senses, spiritualize them by association with the spiritual energy. And therefore, if we offer the food to Krishna before eating, that food becomes prasad. Even if it's only to a picture of Krishna and the Guru, if it's offered nicely, if it's cooked nicely and offered nicely, Krishna will accept it. He promises that in Bhagavad Gita. Does anyone know the shloka where Krishna promises? He makes a promise. Patram Pushpam. Anybody know that shloka? Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham. So Krishna says, if someone offers me a leaf, flower, water, fruit, any kind of food that's offerable, I'll accept it. I will. He promises that he will accept it. So then that food becomes prasad. Then we eat. So we can eat our way. Who would like to eat their way back to Godhead? Who would like to shovel it in? Oh, shovel it in back to God. Isn't that right, Charnaravinda Prabhu? The devotees would literally shovel the prasadam down. They would eat so much. I mean, one devotee, he was from France. He was a cowherd boy, cowherd man at the manor back in the 70s. He was from France. His name was Govardhan Das. And literally, when he had his plate of prasad, he would have a Govardhan hill every day on that plate. It would be a big mountain of rice, and there would be dal, and I'd look at it, I think, how is he going to eat all that? How? But he would eat every day. Whoa. So much he was eating, but he was working very hard. And I remember he was very humble, very, very gentle. He was, I would say, an advanced soul, advanced devotee. He was very genuine. I do remember him. So we can eat our way, but we can hear our way back to Godhead by hearing kirtans and pravachans and hearing the Krishna book. Any other ways?
Serving.
Serve, we can serve our way back to Godhead, yes, by doing services. Any other way?
Taking darshan, maybe seeing.
We can see our way back to Godhead, yes. We can also dance our way back to Godhead. Dancing. Who likes dancing here? Dancing is very, very, look at the chief dancer here, the head dance. There we are. That is one, he's a hell of a head dancer. He used to do his different head dances in front of Prabhupada at the Manor back in 1973, 74. Is that right, Prabhu? 73, 74? And he would do Lord Shiva's nritya dance. And he would move his head, extraordinary movements, and Prabhupada liked it very much. So anyway, Krishna, he's just now given Sarupya Mukti. Why he's given Sarupya Mukti here? Anyone can suggest why there are 5 types of Mukti. He's giving Sarupya. Why is he giving him Sarupya? Can anyone suggest? Alex?
Not, I mean, he's helped in terms of materially, right? But unconditionally. I mean, to be honest, I don't understand why he would give this benediction rather than proper full liberation.
Okay,
I mean,
Sarshi, any idea why Krishna is giving Sarupya Mukti?
Is it because he gave service without asking?
But why Sarupya? Why not Samipya? Why not Sharshti? Why not Salokya?
I don't know what the others are.
Okay, so there's Panchavida Mukti, 5 types of Mukti. Lowest one is Brahman Sayujya, merging into the Brahma Jyoti. So why? Smita, any idea why he's giving Sarupya? The answer is very simple.
Is it because he tailored the clothes
Oh, because
to this film?
he's fitted the clothes to Krishna's Sarup, you mean? No, that's not the answer. Jai Prakash, Prabhu. Vimal, any idea why Krishna would give Sarupya? It's a very simple answer. You'll kick yourself when you hear it. Because, are you ready? Because it's what he wanted. It's what that person, he wanted that Sarupya Mukti. That was one of his cherished desires to achieve Sarupya. So Krishna will give it. Some people, they want Sarupya. Now, what is Sarupya? To achieve a form similar to the Lord's, yes?
yeah.
So you can have 2 types of Sarupya. One is in Vaikuntha, where you get the exact replication of the Lord's form, or you get a body of a cowherd boy in Goloka, which is also considered Sarupya because it's in the same form as the Lord. So we've got Krishna's fulfilling his desire there. Sense gratification. So Krishna, it's not like Krishna's against sense gratification, but the problem is in Kali Yuga, or our process of satisfying the senses is sinful. Because Kali Yuga is a sinful age, we tend to gratify our senses in a sinful way. So one of the ways to avoid that is by offering our food to Krishna. So there's a verse in the Gita, chapter 3, text 13. I'd like everyone to have a little look at that one in your own time, yeah? Chapter 3, text 13. in your own time, have a look at that. That's one of the shlokas we learn on my shloka course in level 2. It's the 3rd verse that we learn in level 2, 3:13. So have a look at that, and you can see the value then of preparing, offering, and eating the remnants of food offered to the Lord, the Yagya Shishta. Let's ask Jigna now. No, Jigna's done it. Alex is next. After dressing nicely, Alex.
Okay, let me just put the video on, sorry. After dressing nicely, Krishna and Balaram went to a florist of the name Sudama. As soon as they reached the precinct of his house, the florist immediately came out and with great devotion fell down on his face to offer his respectful obeisances. He offered a nice seat to Krishna and Balarama and asked his assistant to bring out flowers, betel nuts, and pulp of kandana. The florist Chandan, sorry. Chandan. The florist welcomed greatly satisfied the Lord.
Yeah,
the florist
he was going to offer him the pulp of candy.
Sorry, I read in English and I you know,
Yeah. When there's italics, that generally is in Sanskrit, and in Sanskrit there is a cha, there is a ch. It's aspirated. There's an aspirated ch, and there's also ch. So there's but generally when there's a c in Sanskrit, it's ch, and when there's k, kh, that's ka, ch. Okay. That's the florist. Yeah, carry on. The florist.
Okay, the florist very humbly and submissively offered his prayers to the Lord, saying, "My dear Lord, because you have come to my place, I think all my forefathers and all my worshipable superiors are pleased and delivered. My dear Lord, you are the supreme cause of all causes of this cosmic manifestation, but for the benefit of the residents of this earthly planet, you have appeared with your plenary portion to give protection to your devotees and annihilate the demons. You are equally disposed as the friend of all living entities. You are the super soul, and you do not discriminate between friend and enemy. Yet you are pleased to give your devotees the special results of their devotional activities. My Lord."
Okay. So that's really nice. That's really nice up to there. And he's mentioned here that you appear along with your plenary portion. Now, what does he mean by that?
Appeared with your plenary portion.
Anyone can answer that one.
Yeah. Okay. With Balarama? So
Balaram is his immediate plenary portion.
Right.
Means angsha or prakangsha. The angsha or the prakangsha is the immediate form of the Lord that has been duplicated. So Krishna, first of all, when he does his first plenary portion, it's called Swayam Prakash. Okay, Swayam means original, Prakash, his original manifestation. So when Krishna, when he doubles himself, you know, or expands himself, the first expansion is practically exactly the same as himself. So therefore, Balaram and Krishna, there's only two differences between Krishna and Balaram. Who can tell me the two differences?
One is the color of the
Color, yes. Krishna is blackish, Balaram is whitish. And the other difference?
Krishna wears yellow, dhoti, and Balaram wears blue.
Yeah, that's what they're wearing, but in terms of their form.
Krishna wears this peacock feather.
Balaram can wear peacock feather as well, especially when he's doing his Rasa Leela. But there's another one. There's another difference. I'll give you a clue. Krishna Kanaya Dauji Kabaya.
Flute, the flute.
No, Balaram also plays flute.
I was looking at this.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, on the altar, yes. But Balaram's got his flute in his pocket there somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Balaram also plays the flute.
Yeah.
I mean, if you hear those two going together, it'll blow your mind. But there's another difference. Krishna Kanaya Dauji Kabaya. There's your clue. Come on, Sashi.
Mm.
Okay, Dauji is Krishna's older brother. So there's a difference in age between Krishna and Balaram. Okay, so they're not twins. Dauji is considered the older brother of Krishna. So when Krishna first expands himself in the plenary portion, it's called Swayam Prakash. That Angsha is pretty much very similar to dress very similar. All right, there's blue and yellow, but they're dressed very, very similarly. They both have flutes. They both have buffalo horns. They both have ropes for the cows and sticks. And Balaram is older and he's white, or whiter complexion. And that's the only difference, between Krishna and Balaram. So both are God. Balaram is also Bhagwan. Balaram is as much Bhagwan as Krishna. In fact, when we pray on Balaram Jayanti, we pray for the spiritual strength to Balaram, because he's known as Adi
Guru.
The Adi Guru, Balaram. So even Krishna, he's not given that name Adi Guru. Balaram is the Adi Guru. So that's a little something about that. Anybody else got something to say?
I have a
Yes.
question. Prabhuji.
Yes.
We have prayers. There are prayers to Lord Krishna. There are different kinds of prayers. Are there any kind of prayers to Balaram?
Oh, yes, lots of them. Lots and lots of prayers. There's also Balaram Ashtakams. And there's once in Soho Street, I gave a class on Balaram's appearance day, and I was we were singing one Balaram Ashtakam. I remember Jayadev Prabhu was there and he was overwhelmed. And I'd just found it that very morning. I was just preparing something and I found that and I printed it out by good fortune. And I went down there and added it in. And it turned out to be the main part of the whole presentation. So yes, there are many prayers to Balaram. So we've gone to that point now. We were there, activities. So let's ask Vimal, would you like to read from here? For my Lord, I am praying. Halfway through the last paragraph.
I'm just getting it. Yeah, my Lord, I am praying that you please tell me whatever you wish me to do, because I am your eternal servant. If you would order me to do something, it would be a great favor to me. The florist, Sudama, was greatly pleased within his heart by seeing Krishna and Balaram in his place, and thus, as his choicest desire, he made 2 exquisite garlands of various flowers and presented them to the Lord. Krishna and Balaram were very much pleased with his sincere service, and Krishna offered the florist his salutation and benedictions, which He is always prepared to bestow upon the surrendered souls. When the florist, is that okay? Shall I continue?
Please, yeah.
Oh, sorry. When the florist was offered benedictions, he begged from the Lord that he might remain his eternal servant in devotional service, and by such service do good to all living creatures. By this, it is clear that a devotee of the Lord in Krishna consciousness should not be satisfied simply by his own advancement in devotional service. He must be willing to work for the welfare of all others. This example was followed by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. It is said, it is therefore stated in a prayer about them, Lokanam Hita Karunai. Vaishnavas, or devotees of the Lord, are not selfish. Whatever benefits they derive from the Supreme Personality of Godhead as benedictions, they want to distribute to all other persons. That is the greatest of all humanitarian activities. Being satisfied with the florist, Lord Krishna not only gave him whatever benediction he wanted, but over and above that, he offered him all material opulences, family prosperity, a long duration of life, and whatever else his heart desired within the material world.
Oh, what a lovely benediction. Krishna doesn't give this very often. This kind of nice, he gave to Sudama, he's given to the florist. He also gave nice, but these are people who he's meeting personally. You know, you're meeting Krishna face to face. To meet the Lord face to face, you have to have accrued so many hundreds and thousands of pious activities to meet the Lord. So just imagine, you meet him, and then he personally gives you a blessing. But for most of us, we are in a lower stage, and Krishna has to, his blessings, they come in very mixed forms, and sometimes his blessings are very hard. They're very hard because our heart is so hard. The covering of our heart is so hard that sometimes the Lord has to really give it a good hammering, you see, just like nuts. Now, we all know nuts are there, like Brazil nuts. At Christmas time, my relatives, we'd go and visit them, and they would always have these Brazil nuts everywhere. And there's nutcracker. Have you seen the nutcracker? You know, the tool, and you go. So in many cases, in my case particularly, Krishna has had to use the nutcracker system on me quite a lot. Quite a lot. That's also his mercy, you see, because when the heart is very, very hard, only Krishna, sometimes there's only one way to soften the heart up, you see, that's by cracking the covering like a nut. And then inside is the very sweet Brazil nut. Does anyone like Brazil nuts here? Brazil nuts? Yeah, they're like a coconut flavor, an unusual little nut. Other nuts like badam and pista, those nuts, you can break them actually with your fingers. Anybody can think of another nut that's really hard to break?
Walnut.
Walnut. Yeah.
Coconuts.
Yeah.
Coconuts.
Yeah. So some nuts, they require a lot of work. And but if the nut is already been broken, if the shell is broken, then there's no need for Krishna to get a nutcracker out. There's no need for that. Krishna can taste your bhakti. He can taste your sweet devotion so nicely. So in order to break the devotee's pride, to help the devotee make spiritual progress, Krishna may break their hard covering, you see, and it may appear that Krishna is being very hard upon someone. But what it is, he's actually freeing them from the contaminated condition and the hardened nature of the very hard heart. So in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a special verse there that the heart is like steel framed, the heart. So in Kali Yuga, our hearts tend to be very hard. I'm not saying you at all, but I'm saying that in general, our hearts can be very hard, and Krishna knows, or he or she needs some help here, and I'll break but in doing so, it appears that the Lord is punishing his servant, punishing the devotee, putting the devotee through very hard, very, very great difficulties in life. But actually, this is the Lord's love to break the pride and to break the hard-heartedness. This we call it Hridaya Granti in Sanskrit. Hridaya Granti, the hard knot of the heart. You see, very hard. So this is a very nice point here, because the florist is getting such a benediction. You know, once we've been freed from our contaminated condition, Krishna can give anything. He can give you anything. He can give, as it says here several times, all kinds of sense gratification. Hooray!
A whole planet.
Yeah, he can give a whole planet for sense gratification. You know, Krishna can give once that hard-heartedness that we've developed for millions and millions of lifetimes of enmity and inimical attitude to Krishna, that once that has been cleared by the grace of the Lord, and we've accepted the medicine, the punishment, the medicine from him, Krishna can give you anything and everything. So it's not all doom and gloom. And at that point, we've come to nearly the end there. So did you finish the whole chapter there?
Yeah. So thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 41st chapter of Krishna enters Mathura.
Yeah, and whatever heartfelt desire, because once our hard-heartedness is gone, our desire is in line with the Lord's, you see, and therefore we won't desire to be exploited. The worst part of our contaminated nature is that we're exploitive. We're abusive and exploitive. We exploit others. We exploit the planet. We abuse others. We have this mentality, you see. It's a wicked mentality, and Krishna wants to purify us of that. So if the devotee allows Krishna to do that, then there's no limit to how much happiness you can enjoy. So that's the end of the chapter. All right, Jai Prakash Bruce. So the next one is chapter 42, is it?
Breaking the bow in the sacrificial arena.
Okay, we're getting close now to some action. So it's action time next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. What's the date? What's the date on Tuesday?
28th.
The 28th. All right. I'll be in London. I'll be in London at the on the 28th in the evening. Okay. So I may be visiting somebody's home. If I am, I'll let you know. I'll let Smita know. And what I'll do also, if you can make me an admin, I'll try to post this some recordings on the WhatsApp. Is that okay?
Yes, I'll just do that now.
Yeah.
Put you as an admin.
And Jigna, thank you for posting those nice little things. You post those little segments there. They're very nice. And thank you, Sashi. Let's hope Sashi gets well soon. Let's give Sashi another big achuta, a big achuta. 1, 2, 3. Achuta.
Thank you.
May you get
Hare
well
Krishna.
soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhupada.
All glories to Prabhupada.
All
Mm.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.